when the narcissist realizes that you are not a fool as they thought before.
Have you ever felt like you're being played for a fool? Like someone is trying to manipulate and deceive you, treating you like you're just a pawn in their twisted game? Narcissists are master illusionists, skilled in the art of deception and gaslighting. They'll make you doubt your reality, your sanity, and ultimately your worth. But what happens when the narcissist realizes that you're not the fool they thought you were? Buckle up, because we're about to dive deep into the mind of these toxic manipulators and uncover the truth behind their sinister games. In this video, we'll explore the perception of narcissists and their belief that you're a fool. We'll dissect their tactics, their motivations, and their pathological need for control. We'll arm you with the knowledge to recognize their games and the tools to disengage from their toxicity. So, grab a pen and paper, because by the end of this, you'll be equipped to outsmart the narcissist and reclaim your power. Before we begin, I want to encourage you all to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. We'll be diving deeper into these topics and sharing invaluable insights to help you navigate the treacherous waters of narcissistic abuse. Together, we'll build a community of support and empowerment, ensuring that no one falls victim to these toxic individuals.
The narcissist twisted game, understanding their modus operandi.
Imagine a game of chess where every move is calculated and the end game is to checkmate your opponent. Narcissists approach life like a grand game of deception, where you're merely a pawn on their chessboard. Their modus operandi is a twisted web of lies, manipulation, and exploitation, all designed to serve their insatiable need for control and superiority. From the very beginning, the narcissist will test your gullibility and tolerance levels. They'll push your boundaries, disrespect your time, and challenge your loyalty, all while masquerading as the victim. It's like a sick game of how much can I get away with before they catch on. Remember the husband who would come home at all hours of the night, reeking of another woman's perfume, only to gaslight his wife into believing she was imagining things? Or the boss who would consistently miss deadlines, blame their employees, and take credit for their hard work? These are classic narcissistic power plays, designed to keep you off balance and questioning your reality.
Gaslighting and manipulation, their weapons of choice.
Gaslighting is the narcissist's weapon of choice, a tactic they wield with the precision of a skilled marksman. They'll distort the truth, sidestep accountability, and make you doubt your very existence. It's like a twisted game of who can make the other person feel crazier. Imagine a wife who confronts her husband about his constant flirting with other women. Instead of owning up to his behavior, he turns it around and accuses her of being insecure and jealous. "You're just imagining things," he says. "You need to work on your trust issues." This is gaslighting at its finest, leaving the wife questioning her own sanity and perception of reality. Narcissists are masters of manipulation, skilled in the art of pushing your buttons and exploiting your vulnerabilities. They'll love bomb you one minute, only to withdraw affection the next, leaving you craving their approval like a drug addict chasing their next high.
Shifting the blame, how narcissists deflect accountability.
Accountability is a foreign concept to the narcissist. They live in a world where the rules don't apply to them, and every mistake, every wrongdoing is someone else's fault. It's like a twisted game of pass the blame, where you're left holding the bag while they saunter off scot-free. Imagine a scenario where a husband forgets his wife's birthday for the third year in a row. Instead of taking responsibility and apologizing, he lashes out, accusing her of being too sensitive and making a big deal out of nothing. "You know how busy I've been at work," he says, deflecting the blame and making her feel guilty for even bringing it up. Narcissists are masters of projection, casting their own flaws and shortcomings onto others. It's like a twisted game of mirror on the wall, who's the most perfect of them all? And if you dare to challenge their distorted reality, they'll double down, attacking your character and sanity.
The art of discrediting, attacking your character and sanity.
When the narcissist realizes that you're not buying into their games, they'll resort to the ultimate tactic, discrediting you. It's like a twisted game of who can make the other person look crazier. Imagine a scenario where a coworker confronts their manager about their constant belittling and micromanaging. Instead of acknowledging the valid concerns, the manager responds with a smirk. "You're the one with the problem. Maybe you should take some time off to get your head straight." Narcissists will stop at nothing to undermine your credibility and paint you as the unstable one. They'll question your mental state, your motives, and your ability to perceive reality. It's a twisted game of who can make the other person doubt themselves the most. But here's the kicker. The more you engage in their games, the more you feed into their twisted reality. It's like playing a game of chess against a grandmaster, where every move you make is anticipated and countered with devastating precision.
The covert narcissist's cloak of deception.
While overt narcissists rely on intimidation and aggression, covert narcissists are masters of the silent treatment and underhanded tactics. Their game is one of emotional terrorism, designed to slowly chip away at your sense of self-worth and reality. Imagine being married to a covert narcissist who never raises their voice or throws tantrums, but instead wages a psychological war through passive-aggressive behavior and subtle put-downs. It's like playing a twisted game of how slowly can I drive you insane? These sly manipulators will talk behind your back, triangulate others against you, and isolate you from your support system. They'll paint you as the villain while they play the victim, all the while maintaining a facade of innocence and virtue. It's a game of emotional Chinese water torture, where the steady drip, drip, drip of their manipulation slowly erodes your sense of sanity and self-worth. And just when you think you've reached your breaking point, they'll throw you a breadcrumb of affection, reeling you back in like a fish on a hook. Dealing with a covert narcissist is like playing a game of emotional Russian roulette. You never know when the next bullet of betrayal or deception will be fired, leaving you reeling and questioning your reality. But here's the truth. Covert narcissists are cowards, too afraid to face you head-on with their toxicity. They operate in the shadows, using underhanded tactics and emotional warfare to break you down. It's a twisted game of how much can I chip away before you crumble. The only way to win against a covert narcissist is to see them for the emotional terrorists they are and disengage from their games. When you refuse to play their twisted game of deception and manipulation, you rob them of their power and reclaim your sanity and self-worth.
The narcissist endgame, exploitation, and superiority.
At the core of the narcissist's twisted games lies a singular endgame, exploitation, and a pathological need for superiority. They see you not as a human being, but as a resource to be used and discarded when no longer useful. Imagine being in a relationship with a narcissist who love bombs you in the beginning, showering you with affection and grandiose promises. But once they've secured your trust and commitment, the masks slip, and the true game is revealed a twisted game of how much can I extract from you before you catch on. They'll drain your finances, your emotional reserves, and your sense of self-worth, all while convincing you that it's for your own good. It's like being a player in a rigged game of Monopoly, where the narcissist owns all the properties and you're left bankrupt and destitute. And if you dare to challenge their authority or question their twisted reality, they'll quickly remind you who's in charge. It's a game of do as I say, not as I do, where they hold all the power and you're expected to blindly follow their rules. But the narcissist's endgame goes beyond mere exploitation. It's a pathological need to feel superior, to be the center of attention and the arbiter of reality. They'll gaslight you, belittle you, and undermine your achievements, all in a twisted game of who's the smartest, most important person in the room. It's a game with no winners, only victims left in the wake of the narcissist's destructive path. And the only way to truly win is to refuse to play their twisted games altogether. By recognizing the narcissist's endgame and their desperate need for superiority, you can see through their manipulation and exploitation. You can disengage from their toxic games and reclaim your power, your self-worth, and your reality. Remember, you are not a fool to be played with or a resource to be exploited. You are a human being deserving of respect, dignity, and authentic connection. Don't let the narcissist's twisted games convince you otherwise.
Disengaging from the narcissist, reclaiming your power.
So, what's the solution? How do you win against a player who rewrites the rules as they go? The answer is simple. You don't play their game. Disengaging from the narcissist is the ultimate power move. It's like flipping the chessboard and walking away, leaving them to play their twisted games alone. When you disengage, you reclaim your power and refuse to be a pawn in their sick game of deception. Imagine a scenario where a daughter finally confronts her narcissistic mother about years of emotional abuse and manipulation. Instead of engaging in a futile argument, she simply states her truth, packs her bags, and walks away. In that moment, she reclaims her power and refuses to be a victim any longer. Disengaging doesn't mean giving up or surrendering. It's a strategic move that strips the narcissist of their power and leaves them grasping at straws. When you disengage, you're essentially saying, I refuse to play your games anymore. I'm taking back control of my life and my reality. In the twisted game of narcissistic abuse, knowledge is power. By understanding the narcissist's tactics and motivations, you can recognize their games and disengage before they consume you. Remember, You are not a fool, and you deserve to live a life free from manipulation and deception. So, take a stand, reclaim your power, and refuse to be a pawn in their twisted games. Subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated with more insights and strategies for navigating the treacherous waters of narcissistic abuse. Together, we'll build a community of support and empowerment, ensuring that no one falls victim to these toxic individuals ever again.